chain bust down wrists. And you ain't never seen no like this. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Chillax, 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 chillax. Relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. Oh, relax, 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 relax. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold.
Matching hundreds. It's a coach. You're locked into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. This is what it looked like just a moment ago in the heart of New Orleans. Folks, there's no place for this noise to go in the Superdome. It is loud, and these fans are ready for football as their Saints get ready to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. But he knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Room to run inside the 40. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And finally down at the 32-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. And that catch puts him past the great Jerry Rice. For the most receiving yards in a single season, he's now up over 1,848.
At one point, we called Jerry Rice Flash. How about the dash we saw here today? The dash towards his record and past it. What a tremendous achievement. And how much fun is it for us to be here to witness it?
It's a pinch-me moment for us. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. On to stop there defensively, Tyler Davison. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And the record for receptions in a single season has been eclipsed.
Which tells you one thing. Not only is he getting open, he's not dropping anything that comes his way. What a fantastic season, jumping over the really high bar that had been set previously.
He's one of the best ever. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 10 carries, 111 for yards, and a touchdown.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying the football will. But how about the coaching staff? When they go in and talk contracts, when they talk to reporters, hey, we had a 1,000-yard rusher this year. That means something in today's NFL.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. Of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys that can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that.
And this is going to be intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And a short return to the 6-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And credit the tackle to Cliff Avril. Let's have a look at the defensive starters for New Orleans. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. He's a reigning AFC Offensive Player of the Week, and defensively, they have to find an answer for him.
And that's what you would do if you were calling plays, right?
Yeah,
you'd make sure that he gets targeted. But the thing about it is the route running. That's what makes him so dangerous, is because no matter what is presented defensively, he runs his route with such skill that he's able to go up and get the football first in each and every situation.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches, holds a #2 and #4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches shy of setting the single-season mark for most receptions, currently held by Marvin Harrison, a Hall of Famer.
He had 136 catches that year on the heels of 129 the season before. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017 the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same and probably a little bit extra.
On second down, Kamara takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
16. Alert, 16. Ready. We waiting.
Shotgun now for Breeze. He finds Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tight end to the left, tight end left. Ready. Yellow.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Single. Watch 6. Ready.
Now Breeze on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Breeze now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Breeze leads this one with Kamara. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing now is Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Meredith. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
To throw is Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Back deep, Antonio Brown. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
And he takes this across the 15 to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. Now it's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're open to do it consistently here. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 3-0 is our score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ready. We're waiting.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Here's Brees to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And Hill with it over the middle. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Saints on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Here's Kamara. Try to run for it. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right?
And he can't find room to run. Bell's going to go down, and that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Returnable here from the 38.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
A 10th carry for Kamara, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Brees. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Throwing on first down is Brees. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Ready. You waiting?
Now Brees on the bootleg. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Ready.
Again, it's Brees. And that is incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you whop it.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40, the 30, the 20, 10. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment.
Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. For Brown, that's his 5th catch. So 5 catches over 50 yards. You might as well set your watch to that. He does it every game.
Think about 2013. The only player in NFL history to have at least 5 catches and at least 50 yards in every single game in an NFL season. So that's not just talent. That's durability. That's dependability. That's a guy who really wants to play each and every week. Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Jack 16.
A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught at the 8. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Boswell on now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. With it is Brown. A nice little juke. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jamario Davis. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback and then no one.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. Thomas, the intended target. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change.
And they get to him with a pressure as Roethlisberger goes down. Craig Robertson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while they'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Ready. Yellow lady. Yellow lady.
Breeze to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. On 1st down, Breeze. But it's caught on the right side at Smith. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Saints move back within a couple of the lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Lutz with the extra point. And this is now a one-point game. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. On the return, it's Washington. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Everyone's got four. Four down.
Set. Left 5.
556. 556. They can't hang with us.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Four down. Four down. Check. Four down. Four down.
On third down, Roethlisberger over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Roethlisberger now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Set. Blue 30.
Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Washington with a catch, middle of the field. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It'll be a 51-yard attempt. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was the Browns who were winners in that one at home. 28-10, the final. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were winners in their ball game as they beat the visiting Washington Redskins. Marcus Mariota leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Phillip Rivers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. Responsible for well over 100 yards of total offense, but still hasn't found the end zone. You think that's in the back of his mind going into this drive?
It's always in the back of the mind of a player having that type of a day, because you want that gratification for your work, right? You want that stamp on top of everything. But bottom line for him, he's doing great work. Sometimes it just opens it up for other people to actually get into the end zone for him.
The runners, you know, would they rather have 60 yards, 3 touchdowns, or 150 no touchdowns?
I think more than likely 150 and no touchdowns. But all the runners that I know would say, I'll take 150 and 3 touchdowns. They're greedy that way.
Again, it's Kamara. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Daniel McCullers in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On third down, here's Kamara. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Again, this is Kamara. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line, because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Kamara. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, now he bowls him over. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Breeze. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit, because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that'll bring him back within a point. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
On the return, it's Washington. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And that's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now it's Roethlisberger throwing the out route incomplete. That's James. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for him.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Roethlisberger will throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Here's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off at the 19. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Ready? You waiting? 51's the mic.
Breeze now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Ready? You waiting?
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And some strong running. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Ready? You waiting?
From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Roethlisberger over the middle, complete. It's Washington. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
Now Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing again, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, You enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll go again with Bell. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And the Steelers on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Ready. We're waiting. Everyone's got 4
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. That's caught by Meredith right side. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
4 down, 4 down. Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Time.
Shotgun now for Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Ready. We're waiting.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. He got 29 yards that time. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw.
Right.
I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did. And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Saint touchdown. Mark Ingram with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
We got a little bit of everything on that run. Offensive line creating some space, but how about the guy running behind his pads into the end zone?
What does that mean when a guy says running behind his pad?
Means that he's going to be a physical runner. That way he's able to use his shoulder pads, his forearms, anything to ward off people to power his way forward.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. On the return, Fitzgerald, Toussaint. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. This one complete, right side to McDonald. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. To throw here, Roethlisberger. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know, you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Gets it to Meredith complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion. Beat Andy Roddick, the future U.S. Open champion, back when they were in the juniors. I think that footwork really helps him be the great quarterback he is now.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Brees on the draw, gives to Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting...
Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Okafor in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Ready. You waiting?
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. And Hill with it over the middle. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On the ground, Kamara. And Hill running right through it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 2nd down, here's Breeze. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Throwing now is Breeze. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
Yeah, it's such a close game, a very big one. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
On third down, Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Focus.
Back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Okay, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
No. 3 down. Ready. Move 90.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th.
Here we go. Ready. We're waiting.
On 3rd down, Mark Ingram. And some room to maneuver. There goes Mark Ingram. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Here's Roethlisberger. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. As time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for New Orleans, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.